Hello and welcome back to the MB Art Studio. This is our very first Thrifty Thursday haul. All of these items were purchased on Black Friday from a store called Estate Treasures in Middletown, Connecticut. It's like a thrift store. I believe the owner goes and he cleans out estates. It's a huge store, I think 5 stories tall. So there are many different departments. So I wanted to give you a look at just some of the items that I bought for junk journaling. It's an eclectic mix, so just bear with me. And I'll start right here with this table runner. It's not vintage, but it must be from the 90s or I'm thinking late 80s and 90s because it was originally marked from Christmas tree shops. So it's all white, 100% cotton. Very pretty. I was going to use this for journaling, but then I decided against that, and I'll probably use it on my table because it's so pretty. I can't imagine cutting into this. I'll go with the next textile. So in this bag was a set of curtains, which I'll pull out. Very beautiful flowers on it. Thought about cutting these up too, but I think these will go on my window for the springtime. So it's a 3-piece set, and I'll just give you a look of the pattern. There's a valance that goes across the top, and then the 2 side drapes, and I just want you to see the flowers on it. So pretty, these roses, and of course there's sheer. Not hard to hold it up, but I'm sure you get the idea. These are definitely from time past, but again, I won't say that they're very vintage, so to speak. The other thing, I will cut into this because it's already discolored, and I decided to go ahead and stain it a little bit more, is this vintage tablecloth. And I may just cut the trim off and use the cotton separately. It was 50 cents, but I wanted to mention that all of the items were actually 40% off each individual item. So in addition to what you'll see here, I was able to purchase 3 Corningware dishes, the white with the blue. So I believe those were probably from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, maybe late 70s, early 80s. And along with these items in the entire haul was $40.21. This is just I think it's an ashtray, but this is not any kind of brand name. Someone received that for their volunteer services at a geriatric home. So just put that up to the side. So you'll see a lot of glassware. I love glassware, but I also use the glassware to store my items a lot of times on my desk when I'm working, which you'll see in just a bit what I mean. So for example, like these small, I believe they're coasters, I would use these to put beads and things on while I'm doing a dangle or something like that. Just small items, kind of keep them organized. Same thing for the bowls. Sometimes I put my scrap paper in things like this while I'm working on my desk because I love it. I think that looks pretty to me, and it's just what I like to do. So in addition to the large tote that you saw me organize the materials for the Barbie journal, I would do something like that, and I keep my things handy. This, again, I would use for storing. So cute. And it's a vintage miniature cake tin. This was a set of cookie cutters, and I like to use my cookie cutters for stencils and for tracing, etc. I have an extensive amount of cookie cutters, all shapes and sizes, because you may not, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, so I wanted to say you may not know this, but I used to be a cake decorator for over 20 years. So that's why this channel is actually called the MB Arts Studio, because I have gone the way in different types of arts and medias. This is, again, a little vintage tin. So when I'm doing clusters or snippet rolls or whatever, I like to put all the different pieces in something. So instead of me having like multiple little vessels on my desk at a time, I'll kind of do some work like that in something like this. And again, this was what, 50 cents with 40% off. So you can see the prices. This, they don't, one thing about this store, you have to kind of know what you're looking for. If some thrift stores and Goodwill, Salvation Army, they have a dedicated department for what would I call, like craft items. This store does not. You kind of have to go around the whole place kind of looking for different things. So this was just a very interesting elastic cording. So I think is my favorite color, but I think I'll use this on some of the Valentine's journals that I may have coming up. I said may have because, again, it's a little candy jar. I keep little items in on my desk. I like to have a lot of my things out around me, but I don't like to have them all over the place out, if that makes sense. So I like everything to be contained. I picked up these. They're like ribbon crimps, I think they're called. Something like that. I saw Carrie the Crafter talking about these on one of his videos, and then another woman, but this video was probably 5 or 6 years old, but I had recently watched the video, and they were talking about how to use these. And apparently you take ribbon, you put it at the ends of this, and you crimp the ends together, trying to get it to. And I got these because these are all different sizes. So in the older video that I watched by the woman, she was saying how she only had the tiny ones, but she was trying to make these like very wide dangles, like her ribbon was wider. Okay, this little beauty here, I think this is so cute. I use these for putting my glue bottles in. So I don't have my glue bottle right here, but I'll give you an idea just with this. So I keep my glue bottles in little vessels like this, and I keep them upright on my desk actually. So on my other desk, which is on the other side of the room, like most of my glue bottles that I'm currently using, when I'm not using them exactly, they're stored like this in these little, like, I guess it's a shot glass. I'm not really sure, but it's crystal and it's cute, and it's the kind of thing I love to have on my desk. Okay, nothing exciting here. It's just a metal rack, which I use stuff like this to lay my coffee dye or any of my dyed papers or color papers on top of when they're drying, and sometimes I'll put them in the oven on stuff like that. Kids music book, music for ones and twos. So got this for 2 reasons. My music teacher at school did give me some music books last year, but this one had this library card in it, so I wanted to cut this library card out as well. And it's just music paper, some of it damaged, so I'll clean that with alcohol. There were a few songs in here that I thought were so cute. Old songs. can't find one now. Let's see. But you get the idea on this one. And quite a few pages in here. So, one little piece of vintage wrapping paper, pretty wide. It's a little bit, I won't say brittle, but it is a lot more thin than the wrapping paper that we have now. I know this has to be from the 80s because this looks like 80s fabric. So if I could give these items an age. So again, I won't say a vintage haul, but some of the items are definitely from the 80s and a little bit prior to. Just grab this Wildflowers book. Each page has different flowers. I love florals to begin with, but in crafting, and then in the middle section there's just some color illustrations. So get that one. This one has like full color pages, each facing page, so that is beautiful. I love full color images like this to put in the inside of my signatures. I think that looks so pretty. This is like a copy paper, which I found in a different section in the store, like their office supplies section. So that it's like basically a couple of racks of stuff, like standing racks, and it's very messy, so you really have to dig through it, and things are dirty on it. So I don't do a lot of digging. I'm not a person who likes to go in stores like that and do a lot of digging. I just like to see what I can see, grab it and go. So there's this trim around the edges, but then the inside of the white square is also like there's like a ghost print of the actual images. So I picked that up because I really like that. Let's see, got some small items here. One thing that they did not have a lot of in the store, which I looked extensively, even had someone help me, was buttons. So these are the buttons that I picked up. This one, like missing a button. These tiny little white buttons, but they're like this in the back, and then this large one. And the buttons were like 25 cents with 40% off, and another little tray. And so like if I were working, I might have this tray on my desk with these buttons inside of it. So that's how I use the glassware in my crafting. Pack of gold doilies, Martha Stewart. I don't have any gold doilies. I have a lot of doilies, but so nothing new there. Got this book, Fresh Cut Flowers, for my mom, for the florals in it. I give my mom lots of books like this and cards, and she definitely does not need another one, so I will be cutting into this one for the florals. And roses are my favorite flowers, so, well, not my favorite, but one of my favorite. I know it seems kind of cliche. It's not my favorite. You will find out what my favorite flower is in a later video, because I will be participating in a Valentine's month challenge with Etta J. She's doing a self-love journal challenge. So you write all about yourself. It's like 15 prompts, and they're very straightforward. Favorite quote, favorite song, favorite food. So it's basically all about you. I think that's a beautiful keepsake to use, way to document things about yourself and then give it away or keep it. So this is for paper. It's like cut confetti. I thought about paper buttons and a few other things with this. The other thing that they have in this store, and I won't go through each one, but I'll kind of flip through. They have a selection of cards, and the cards are like, I don't know, 5 for something. But you can get the cards or the envelopes separate. So I grabbed a bunch of these envelopes because I love to make greeting card journals, and I also love to make journals out of the envelopes, and these are like already decorated. So just a couple of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll just show a sample. So some of them are decorated front and back, some of them are just decorated on the back. Very cute. And then that's printed on the back. So a couple of cards. This one has that gold, like, I wouldn't call it a fleur-de-lis, but some kind of repeating flourish at the bottom. And the owner, he was really cool. If you see something and you say like, oh, I really like this, but I can't, like, if I got all of these cards, I think he gave all of them to me for maybe $2, I want to say. So there are some cards in here as well. And he did tell me I could go back and get more if I wanted, but I told him no. No, thank you. I have enough here. This field of wildflowers on the cover of that one. Now, the one thing that I was really happy to find and get was this metal. And I got this for rusting items because I did not have any items around for rusting. So I got all of these. I like these because I can put them flat on paper and kind of have them lying out that way. I actually I believe I got a little bit more of the metal, but I did some rust dyeing maybe about a month and a half ago. So I went into the metal pieces. This is being filmed in January, and I'm just going through these items, so that's why I believe the metal rusting was like early December, I want to say. So I did go into some of the rusted pieces, but he has like all these old tools, like huge pieces, like so much stuff, and I just got tired of like digging through because they're dirty and they're rusted. So I didn't want to dig anymore, look through it anymore, so I just kind of let that go. But I got enough, what I feel like is enough. And again, he gave me all of these for, I want to say like maybe $1 combined with the other pieces that I had. So it was a very reasonable haul, I think. For me, I feel like it's a lot for $40, including the 3 Corningware dishes, and one had a lid to it as well. So I think I did okay. I mean, let me know in the comments what you think. Again, thank you for joining me for this first edition of what I'm calling Thrifty Thursdays. I don't do a lot of hauls, and I won't do a lot of hauls, but this is just to give you an idea. If you have some items actually around your house and you're not using them, but you want to find a way to use them and to put them out, especially if they're things that are your favorite. So I have a lot of things like this that were my grandmother's that I actually use just on a daily basis to store things in and just to use. So you probably have some things like this around as well. So just give you an idea of how you can use some of the things that you already have. So don't go out thrifting and buying anything. Just giving ideas. So I thank you for being here. Have a wonderful day.